Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing another tag video. This one is by Hey Internet Eric here, and this video is, or this tag is called Hey Internet Horror here. There's 12 questions on it. Pretty cool questions actually. But before we begin, I want to remind everybody that we are on the road to 200, and I have got a 200 subscriber contest going. As per the usual, if you go to it, I'll link it either in a tag up above or down below or something, whatever. But if you go to that video and leave a comment with your answers for my questions, you'll get one entry into it. If you do a video response, you can get 2 or 3 depending on if you've answered the bonus question. But that's my channel. Let's talk about this horror tag here. So, question number 1. So question number 1 on this, on the horror tag here is, what's the scariest slasher? For me, there are 2 really good ones. The first one being Hatchet. I really like the Victor Crowley character and the fact that he just comes back every night no matter what they do to him. It's pretty damn scary. But for me, honestly, the real scary one is the Leatherface, because of the plausibility of it. You know, a person with developmental issues or whatever, raised by a psychotic family, big hulking brute, especially the remake version of it. No offense to, you know, Tobe Hooper and what he did with the original, but the remake really did make Leatherface scary and intimidating, and I'm going to have to go with that one for my actual answer on that one. So, let's move on to question number 2. So, the question number 2 is the worst sequel in a franchise of 4 movies or more. Well, there's 4 movies, and some say a remake. I don't actually consider this... consider it a remake, but the Prom Night franchise. The first one had nothing to do with 2 and 3. 2 and 3 had nothing to do with the fourth one. The fourth one had nothing to do with 1 or 2, 3. So for me, the last one, the Prom Night, the remake, to me it's just Prom Night 5. But honestly, in my opinion, while that one's not really good, 4 is not great, 3 is the worst in this franchise. It really is. It really looks like a TV movie. The effects in it are bad. The acting in it is Saturday afternoon, or, you know, weekday afternoon, after school special kind of acting. It's not even soap opera grade. So, for me, Prom Night 3 is the worst in that franchise, and it's not really that great of a franchise except for part 2. But anyway, let's move on to question number 3. Okay, so question number 3 is a movie that you think more people should talk about. This one, there's so many movies that I just don't see people talk much about that I really like. But this one is one for me that was just so good. And that's Full Moon's version of The Pit and the Pendulum. Lance Hendrickson is Torquemada, the late great Oliver Reed. This movie, looking at it, it's low budget and you can see it in places, but at the same time, you really wouldn't believe that the budget was as low as it was, that the production company was as not funded better than what it, I mean, it really does make absolutely the best of the budget that they had. And Lance Hendrickson is, I mean, everybody loves him anyway, but in this one, he really gets into this character and really goes for it. And it's just a really good movie that just not a lot of people talk about. So that's my answer for that one. Let's move on. So question number 4, is a remake better than the original? Some of y'all gonna hate me on this one, but oh well, it is what it is. But for me, the 2006 version of Black Christmas, or Black Xmas, as I stylized the title, whatever. But for me, the original was boring. I saw it, back in the 80s or so. I was still in school. I saw it on USA or something, Up All Night or one of those, whatever it was. And I was bored with it. I saw it again in my late 20s. Still didn't really care that much for it. I don't get why it's such a classic now. I just don't. The acting in it is bad. There's no scare to it. There's no tension in it. It's just boring. Now, that's not to say that the 2006 version doesn't have issues. I have some issues with that one. But for me, the 2006 version is so much better than what the original version was. So number 5 on the list is a movie that you don't think lived up to the hype. Y'all, you think the last one pissed some people off? Here we go. For me, the answer to this one is The Shining. The pacing on it, it's a Stephen King book, and Kubrick the hell out of it, and it's style over substance. It's beautifully shot. All of everything that you could ever want from cinematography, and Jack Nicholson overacts his way through the entire thing. Shelley Duvall can't act. I think other than maybe Popeye, I've never seen her in anything that I thought she did a good job with, and she was born to play Olive Oil, but nothing else. The kid's not bad, and of course, Scatman Crothers was great in everything that he did. But the movie to me is all about the visuals, and the story is lacking. I saw this, I don't know, probably, I was probably a kid the first time I saw it, and everybody just kept talking about how great it was, and how great it was, and how great it was, and I was bored with it as a kid, so I went back in, again, my 20s or so, and rewatched it, and I was still bored. I've watched it 10 times. I'm still bored with it every time. I do not enjoy this film. I think that it's just all camera and no story. So that's my answer to that one. Number 6 is favorite horror animal. There's so many great ones in this one. Piranha's great. Grizzly. All of that stuff. Cujo. There's a ton of them out there. Man's Best Friend. I know many of these have been mentioned several times. But for me, I'm going to have to go with one that I thought was so much fun. It's more comedic than it is true horror. But it's definitely a monster movie, and that is Lake Placid. I love the interplay between the paleontologist that's sent out into the field with Game and Wildlife, between Game and Wildlife and the sheriff, between the sheriff and Oliver Platt's character, whose name escapes me all of a sudden. But it's so much fun to watch. The monsters, very CGI and not really scary, but, and Betty White. Oh my God, Betty White in this movie. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. If you haven't seen it, please pick this up on DVD or stream it or whatever you can to see this one, because foul-mouthed Betty White is worth the money to buy this movie if you don't have it already. Alright, so number 7 is favorite horror novel not by Stephen King. Not a huge King fan. Stephen King has great ideas, mediocre stories, and shit endings. And that sums up 99% of his books. Some of the movies made from them have been good, some not. Whatever, but I'm not a huge King fan, as you can obviously tell. But one guy that I am a huge fan of is Robert McCammon. He's also from Alabama, same as me. And he's got a book called The Wolf's Hour. It's about the kid in it, Michael Gallatin, was born in Russia. His father was part of the Tsar's army. So when the upheaval and the revolution came through, they hunted him down and killed him and the rest of his family, and Michael escaped into the woods. He's bitten by a werewolf, raised by Russian wolves. Then you pick the story up in the middle of World War II, and he's now a werewolf working as a British spy behind Nazi lines. It goes from Germany to Paris and back, and that's half the book. The other half of it's him growing up. So it's a split story, and you see how things in the past affect things in his present day. And it's so well told. Things are so well blended together. The lessons of early life and what he's going through, and how he uses those to, all of that stuff that's been done 100 times, but this is a werewolf fighting Nazis. Can you beat that? Great book. He's also got another one that I really want to recommend too, called The Stinger, and it's basically like a B sci-fi movie. These two aliens crash in a Texas border town, and in the 80s, and chaos ensues, and it's fun. So much fun. But anyway, that's my book choice, is The Wolf's Hour, with a strong runner-up for Stinger. So question number 8 is Fire Stunt. There have been some great ones, and I know several people have mentioned them. The one from The Thing, several others have been mentioned. But there's one that I really love, and it's not necessarily about the fire stunt, although the fire stunt itself is awesome. It's the way that that the flames kind of engulfed the Jason character. Friday the 13th Part 7, Jason versus Carrie. But there's the way that it's shot, and the way that it looks, where the flames are all up around him, and you see his face on it, and you can still make out the facial mask on it, which I really thought was so cool, and always have since I saw that one from the beginning. When they show his back and you see the skeletal and the muscle structure through the flames, really cool stunt. That's got to be my favorite one in a horror movie. So quick answer on that one, but let's move on. Okay, so number 9 is a horror movie that only you seem to love. I really enjoy this movie, and it either doesn't get talked about, or it just gets, or the only thing that you hear about it is the ending of it was so predictable. It wasn't, you saw it coming, they saw it coming, and that is Blood Night, The Legend of Mary Hatchet. Stars Danielle Harris. Yeah, the endings you can see coming, but it's an awesome movie for me. It's got Bill Moseley in it, and I'm not the biggest Moseley fan, and I really enjoy his performance in this one as the crotchety caretaker, gravedigger type character. There's some supernatural elements to it. There's some slasher elements to it. It's just a fun movie for me. The acting in it is okay, not great. If it's your thing, there's a lot of female nudity in it. But it's used well to tell the story. There's reasons behind some of it, most of it. not just gratuitous. They're, I don't know, it's hard to get into a whole lot in a short form without getting into like spoilers or whatever, but I think I'm going to review it shortly, so y'all stay tuned for that, for a full-length one. But let me just say that I think that it's good. It's definitely got kind of that Scream vibe, or the kind of the later Screams, where something happened in the past and it's now affecting what's going on in the future and that sort of thing. Okay, so number 10. Number 10 is Best Creature Design That Was Never Human. There's so many good ones on this one. The Thing is sort of questionable on it, but great creature design in The Void. You know, all the classic monster movies, of course. But I think I'm going to have to go with one of my absolute favorite film franchises, and that's Tremors. All three different incarnations, the Worm, the Ass Blasters, the Shriekers, all those are so much fun. All of those are such unique creatures, and it's a fun ride, except for Part 4 and Part 7, but it's a fun series. I like all of them. I liked the TV series that they had for a little while. There was some great creature designs in that one. So yeah, that's my answer to number 10. Let's move on. So, number 11. Number 11 is a movie that you didn't think you would like, but turned out you did. I'm going to go with Devil's Rejects on this one. There's a couple of other ones that I could mention, but I really did not like House of a Thousand Corpses. And so when Devil's Rejects came out, I thought, well, I don't want to see that crap. I didn't like the first one. I don't want to see the second one. And then I saw Rob Zombie's Halloween. And you know, whether or not you like it or not, or whether or not I liked Halloween or not, it did intrigue me enough in the story and the way things were done in it, enough that I did see Devil's Rejects, and I rather enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I like it a whole lot better than House of a Thousand Corpses, and probably not quite as much as I liked Halloween, but I did enjoy it. You know, the Firefly family, say that 5 times fast. The Firefly family on a road trip, and all the havoc that they, you know, create, and all the havoc that just happens around them for them being them, directly and indirectly. It was a really good, fun road movie. I haven't seen 3 from Hell yet. I don't know if I want to. I kind of like how they ended this one, and I don't really think that there needed to be another one. But I'll probably get around to seeing it eventually. So let's move. So number 12, most memorable horror movie ending. I was originally going to say Sleepaway Camp, but I kind of felt that was, you know, low-hanging fruit. But I thought that. And I kind of thought the Little Shop of Horrors director's cut. I saw that movie. I saw that one, you know, probably pretty early on, probably shortly after it came out. And I bought it on VHS and watched it God knows how many times as a teenager. And it was of course, the VHS version was the theatrical release, and I loved it. It was great. I knew all the words to the songs, all the words in between, and everything else. And when it came out on DVD, I bought it. Well, when I first got into DVDs, I won't say when it first came out, because I was a little late to the DVD party, but, you know, I did buy it, and sat down and watched it, and, you know, it comes up on the menu, theatrical cut or director's cut. Well, the director's cut's longer. I'll go for that one. You know, all the things I didn't get to see. And the ending. Wow. Yeah. I still love the theatrical cut. I get the ending of it. I enjoy it for what it is in both cuts. I don't hate either one. I can watch either one and enjoy both of them quite a bit. But the first time watching the director's cut after 10, 15 years of watching the other cut, with the happy ending, spoiler, sorry, with the happy ending versus the John Landis ending, it really messed with my head. But on this one, I want to give a second one an honorable mention on this one, for the original Friday the 13th. I was 8 years old when I saw this movie, and I hadn't seen Carrie, I hadn't seen any of the other after effect endings, last pop-up, whatever you want to call them, exit scares, 15 different names for whatever. But you know what I mean, where, spoiler alert, where the Jason pops out of the water. Scared the shit out of me as a kid. It really did. And probably sparked my love for the franchise, because I had enjoyed the movie up to then. At 8 years old, I enjoyed it. Thought it was a good movie. Still love the original. I don't care who doesn't. I love the original Friday the 13th. But that ending, when I was 8 years old, yeah, that one got me. Got me good. So that's an honorable mention on that one. And that's our 12 questions and answers for Hey Internet Horror Tag. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched all the way through my ramblings here. I really enjoyed doing this, Eric. Thank you so much. And to Trash Picture Show, who tagged me in it. I don't know who else to tag. I don't know who has and hasn't done it. I haven't seen a video yet from Collector Man or from Hobbs or Miss Boomstick. So if you guys haven't been tagged yet, you're tagged now. If you have, well, you're tagged again. So anyway, I enjoyed this. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. There will be links down below to Hey Internet Eric here's channel. There will be a link either down below or above somewhere in this video for my 200 subscriber giveaway video. Links down below for advocacy, my personal links, Teespring links if you like this shirt or you want the shirt with the full moon logo. That's there. I also have an Amazon list, and I have started a Patreon. If you'd be interested in supporting the channel, you like what I do and want to help me do it better, those are some great ways to help out. And again, thank you all so much for watching, and as I always say, y'all be good, y'all be safe, and y'all have a good one.